this is, I think, asking for tactical kind of advice. It says, I overeat. Oh, and I know that I need a good new routine, but I really don't know where to start. Any suggestions?
Well, I know that we have coaches who are, I know Ann deals often with eating disorders
Yeah.
and overweight. Um, Obviously, it's a combination of things. We began by saying, well, how do you moderate? There's certain rules that people kind of know about. Don't keep a lot of sweets around the house. Try and eat at home as much as often. And I'm hardly an expert on this. I'm just saying things that are obvious. Try to limit your eating to meals. Everybody knows these things. And then we can switch to exercise. Everybody knows that being physically active is good. And, whenever you read anything about this, they always say, physical activity can just be, walking around the block. Let's not go crazy. Maybe you should join a gym. Can't join a gym right now, but just being physically active, a half hour a day is a really positive kind of thing. That's on the one hand, but you and I also emphasize at the other end, well, what are your larger values in life and your larger goals? Will it be helpful to you to be in control of your weight, to form intimate relationship? Will it be helpful to you? Do you want to um, be in control of your weight, to be a parent? I know an actual famous, I won't use his name, psychologist who used to be grossly overweight.
Hmm.
And this is his story. I mean, he's a behaviorist. He's well known.
Still alive?
What's that? He's well known.
Is he still alive? Still around?
Yes, he's still he's pretty well known in the field. He was pushing his young son in a supermarket and he was super overweight and he fell over and he could barely get up. And he just had one of those moments. He said, well, I couldn't even help my son if he was, in that little thing they have the kids sit in.
Mm.
And I just realized that I just had to lose weight. And then people say, well, how do you produce a moment like that? We're getting back to what's important to you in your life. I mean, the man was a smart man. He could have written a list of things. By the way, he's very trim now. He could have written a list of things about what he needed to do to lose weight, but he needed a focus in life, a principle, something that was important to him. So, one of the reasons people quit addictions like smoking and weight is, when they get pretty sick, which is, the long way around. But the fact that that happens shows you that it's there already and that you might want to cook it up.
Mm.
I know people who say they quit smoking when their father died of cancer. You can generalize the experiences of looking at other people. So, there are no secrets that most people aren't aware of to losing weight. You can always sign up, for a dietary reminder. It's helpful to hang around people who've lost weight. I know another woman, you know her as well as I do, whose blood pressure just shot up. She's in her 40s and, it's scary. So she just started walking to work every day. She's like a role model to me now. I'm older than her, so, I may not have had that problem to the extent she did. It was dangerous for her. And, but she came to an awareness of something and she connected it up to wanting to live and to engaging in positive behaviors. So, your friend can join a group or a mailing list. There are all kinds of things on the internet. And the person who wrote in should think, well, what are the positive things in life that I'm most connected to? How does being healthy, controlling my weight and my blood pressure and related diabetes things tie into that? And follow your star. That'll help you focus on what it is that you need to do to moderate.
So kind of, we've seen that people kind of figure it out on their own once things get dire enough. But you're saying you don't have to wait for them to get dire. You can map this out and reverse engineer what's important to you, what is something you might lose, if you continue whatever the behavior is, and what's something that could be gained if you change it and reverse engineer it that way to say, people kind of have the answers already.
They have the answers already. I was involved in a case where a man sued a tobacco company for having lung cancer, which he died of. But as often happened in the case, he had actually quit smoking 12 years before. He died in his 70s, and he quit smoking 12 years before, and he smoked since he was a young teenager. And the experts said, well, he had a nicotine dependent, blah, 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 blah. This is how he quit smoking. He had a heart attack in his early 60s. And this is in the case materials about how addiction and smoking addiction is irremediable. And when he woke up from, the medical coma, he said to his daughter, would you get me a cigarette, honey? And she said, Dad, if you smoke, I'm never going to talk to you again. And he quit. Put that in an MRI, you know what I mean? Put that in a brain scan. And so, you might say, well, he had to have a heart attack first. His daughter had to threaten never to leave him again. But that's not the question. The question is, was his dependence on smoking insurmountable? And the answer is no. He quit. And then, this made him quit, but it's all packed in him. His love. I mean, he could have said, do I really want to kill myself and lose, my daughter who I love so much? You can work that backwards in your mind. And we try to help people do that to avoid, Oscar didn't get a heart attack. He got it, 25 years, he lived to be over 90, half a century before that.